I find that if you give them like a range, within like $3,000,
Yeah.
you're better off. If you start giving them ones like $5,000, $10,000, it'll be like, well, what is it?
Right.
Is it $5,000 more, or is it $10,000 more? But if it's
Right.
within $1,000 to $3,000 difference, so this can cost you anywhere between $9,000 to $12,000, depending if you want some safety upgrades.
Okay.
And I might now plant that or system upgrades. My name is Tim Detremont. I work for Dawson's Electric and Air. We're right out of Fuquay Varina, North Carolina.
Very good. What do you do for them?
I'm a service tech.
Service tech, electrician, right?
Oh yeah,
Electrician. You
Yep.
gotta shout out those electricians. That's right. Talking for a great reason. You had a fantastic year last year, and this is your third year, you said, as the crown champion.
Yep. Third.
So what did you sell last year?
865.
865 sold and installed. We got to be sure to because I know we've got some people who do this, the sales tech model.
Oh yeah.
Don't install, but you're sweating it out and getting it all in there too.
Oh yeah.
How would you prepare yourself? Like, how much research would you do on the customer, what the situation is? Kind of talk about your process.
I mean, in all honesty, I would just check the history, see if we've been out there before, and that's pretty much as far as I would go, because I want to be the person. They can tell dispatch what they want, but realistically, at the end of the day, I know that 9 times out of 10, those jobs are entirely different.
Yeah.
By the time we close that job out, the person wanted light fixtures. Now I'm doing recessed lights throughout the entire home. So it's a clean slate. In all honesty, I just listen to music, check the history, and just go to it, because everything's a fresh slate, even if somebody's been there before. Usually I just go in there, we'll make some introductions. I thank them for having us out here. If they're a previous customer, I also thank them for also choosing us again.
Yeah.
And it all depends on like the customer's personality. I would pretty much just ask them, what's going on? What are y'all looking to have done today?
Yeah.
And, I see that, I might just maybe reiterate why we're there in the first place. So it looks like, so it pretty much tells them that I am paying attention to why I'm there, but I just want them to tell me first.
Sure.
So a lot of times, from there, we'll just kind of go into some areas and stuff like that. We'll kind of have some small talk. Depending on, once again, the age of home, I want to make sure that the system's safe enough for myself to work on, as well as safe enough for you and your family.
Yeah.
So what I'll have to do, since the entire system works together, I'm just going to take a quick look around. We'll just make sure everything's up to spec. And
you say it's a safety thing. I don't want to touch anything until I know the electricity's off in that room. Or
I wouldn't really hone in more so on safety, because that kind of gets people concerned. And for me personally, it kind of sounds a little salesy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I kind of drop like the safety thing like completely out of like my vocabulary. I call it system.
You just talk system.
Yeah. I'm not here to scare anybody. I don't want to put it into like a scare tactic.
Sure. Even when you're doing your inspection, maybe you got someone older. Are you doing a lot of pictures? And
every time.
Everything's pictures.
So if the homeowner's not going to follow along with me, we're doing show and tell. And when we have like our forms for like the evaluation,
yeah,
I don't even have that filled out yet, because I kind of challenged myself to maybe change it from no's to yeses, or good from bad to good.
Yeah.
Before like the end of the call, and usually I just leave that evaluation with them at the end of the job. Usually I explain it to it's kind of like a furnace filter. It's going to filter all the particles of air that go through the home.
Yeah.
Kind of like, could you imagine if you didn't change out your furnace filter for the past 20 years? Like that smoke detector's been up there.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna put are you really gonna trust that thing at the end of the day?
Yeah. Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
And then you leave it at that, or we go, hey, do you want me to write options, or you're just going to write options?
Gauging the customer. I'm a big fan of doing like 3 verbal options.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I just want to take an order. I don't want to give an order.
Right.
So I might be say, what we could do today is, we could just do like the smoke carbon combo in the hallway. If you want, I can get, hardwired ones into the bedroom. So if you want me to make like any sheetrock damages, we also have a super cool thing where, it's like a mesh system.
Yeah.
They all communicate with one another. There's no wiring involved. Just gotta replace the batteries every year, but don't worry. We can come out here every year and do that for you with our membership. We kind of plant seeds. Each call is entirely different. I've done one where we've done enough closing, and I asked the client, what would they like? Would you like me to put it in just one option? You could pick and choose what you want, kind of like an a la carte type deal.
Yeah.
Or if we just talked about like maybe it's like a bigger project, I'll do it room by room, because it makes it easier. They can say, well, okay, I want to do the kitchen today. I want to do, my kids' bedrooms at the same time.
Right.
And then now they also have stuff that they can do in the other rooms, and they'll just pick those at like a later time.
Okay.
And maybe some of like, maybe if we're just doing like maybe, like a diagnostic call.
Yeah.
It's everything that we've already talked about before. I'm not providing anything that we haven't talked on there. If I didn't get a chance to talk about smokes, I'm not putting it on there. That they ask me for, what do you think this is going to cost? I'll price condition them.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, because I don't want them to be sticker shock on the time when I come back after hours on the weekend.
That's true.
Some on those lines, I want to at least, gauge like the interest to see if it's even worth my time as well as theirs.
Right.
Because maybe we're not seeing eye to eye.
Okay. We always shoot a little higher than what it is, or
I mean, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at price conditioning, and I mean, I've sold like a lot of panels and stuff like that, so I'm pretty good at
So you'll have that conversation at the panel. What this is to replace? Well, it's going to be $3,000, or I don't know what.
I mean, typically, I find that if you give them like a range, within like $3,000, you're better off. If you start giving them ones like $5,000, $10,000, I'll be like, well, what is it?
Right.
Is it $5,000 more, or is it $10,000 more? But if it's within $1,000 to $3,000 difference, so this can cost you anywhere between $9,000 to $12,000, depending if you want some safety upgrades.
Okay.
And I might now plant that or system upgrades.
Yeah. Tim, this is a lot of money. It's like, even I know you came out for the ceiling fan, and by the way, if you come out for the ceiling fan call before you do this inspection, do you start that job and close that job before you do everything, or do you wait to do that?
Depends on the call. I mean, it honestly depends on like the homeowner.
Okay.
I mean, I've done one where I've looked at everything and I give them an option. Okay, let's get that fan up. Okay, I want to start building that trust now, and I want to start creating that value. That I'm gonna do exactly what you want me to do while I'm here.
Right.
But there's still more to be talked about.
Yeah. Okay. All right, because some people make the mistake of going, well, I got called for the ceiling fan, but I'm going to run these inspections, and all of a sudden I've got, and like, whoa, like, I think it guys that I'm interviewing more and more, close that job, get that first one going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're in the home, you're doing more rapport, you're talking to them, and then you close the stuff. But okay, let's go. John, all this stuff's going on. You've got, and it's all service tied. You don't use paper, right? It's all this other stuff. But Tim, this is a lot of money. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I should get other bids. Like, do you get that a lot? It's the other bids, or you feel like you've built enough rapport, you don't face it a whole bunch?
I would say, I mean, I usually don't face it a whole lot, but when I do, it's gonna be, well, what is your concern?
Yeah.
It's just, now I'm just redirecting that because I'm an S person now. I don't like confrontation.
Right.
So the best way for me to combat, essentially maybe, a confrontation now, it would be to ask an open-ended question. Because I just want to get, the homeowner thinking about it a little bit more.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, did I not build enough value to justify the price? Did I not build enough credibility within myself?
Yeah.
Or within the company?
Right.
Is that the reason that you want to get maybe a second opinion? We just want to make sure that they're getting exactly what they want at the end of the day at a budget that fits them best.